We head out and are joined by the senior tight end Parker Houston from the Aztecs. Parker, welcome to the program today. How are you?
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. I'm doing good.
Great having you on. Where were you on the sidelines the other night when they were lining up for that game-tying field goal with just a few seconds left?
I was standing on the opposite side on the sideline near the other end zone, kind of just, I don't know if I was watching or not watching, but I think it was more the reaction that, got me to turn around.
Well, you had to be pretty excited when that ball hit the upright and you guys were able to get out of there and get to the locker room and get ready and head back to San Diego, sitting at 4-1 and 7-1 overall now as you guys enter a bye week. But what happened the other night? You guys were up 17-0, and all of a sudden the Rebels kind of came and started to put it into a different gear than they'd seen earlier in the ball game.
I think once we saw, the big plays that we had caused with the punt block and with Ethan's big touchdown, I think we kind of just got complacent. We kind of thought it was going to be an easy game, and I think we just took our foot off the gas and allowed them to come back in the game when we should have just kind of kept rolling and keep making those big plays.
You guys are really having a good year. The only loss was a tough one to Utah State, and you guys almost were able to come all the way back in that ball game. But sitting at 7-1 in first place right now in your division, the Mountain West Conference, how are you guys dealing with the bye week? Rocky giving you a couple of days off. How's it going to go?
Yeah, I'm sure Coach has mentioned that bye weeks are all about getting back to the fundamentals. The things that have got us to 7-1, the footwork, the timing, and things like that. So having a bye week's nice because you get to reiterate all that kind of stuff, and it's almost like a fresh start coming into these last 4 games.
We're visiting with Parker Houston, a senior tight end at San Diego State, and a good one, I might add. Parker, coming into this year, Rocky made a big deal out of it at the end of last year. You guys really scuffled down the stretch last year. You got blown out in your bowl game, and he goes, "Well, we're gonna go to the spread offense." And I kind of chuckled because I've known Rocky for a long time, and Rocky, yeah, they spread it out so they can run inside the tackles. But my question would be for you, being a tight end and being that extra blocker, did that change anything you did last year compared to this year by going to the spread?
I think one of the big things that it did change for us was our position in the offense. The previous years we've been a lot of inline guys and things like that. Now we're starting to be able to get off the ball. We're blocking from a slot position and things like that. So it's kind of moved us around in that sense and, changed up some of the techniques we have and some of the assignments we have. But other than that, with Coach Horton and, his offense and Coach Long's mentality of physical play, I think the tight ends pretty much stayed the same, and we're just, trying to create a hole for our backs.
Hey, Parker, what do you consider your strength? You can catch the ball. They don't throw the ball to the tight end a whole lot in this offense, but when you line up week in and week out, what do you consider your real strength as a football player?
Just, my physicality and my nastiness, and, the fact that I'm going to outwork the guy across from me, 10 out of 10 times during the game. And I think that's just something that's been instilled with me through, previous coaches I had, my high school coach, my parents, and it's just something that I take a lot of pride in because it's how I think it's how the game should be played. Physical smash mouth football, none of this, soft, no blindside block penalties or anything like that. So I think that's probably one of my biggest strengths. Hey,
let me ask you this. You've been at San Diego State for 4 years. I know you had some other opportunities coming out of high school. You're from Sparks, Nevada. Who's the toughest guy you've gone against on an opponent? Is there one guy that after the game was over said, "Man, I had a good game, but, man, that guy was tougher than hell"?
4 years, man, you go through a lot of guys, and I wouldn't say one guy in particular, but it'd be like a core group for a defense. Like their linebackers were tougher than usual, or their D-line was a little more physical than the last one. So it's things like that, and I don't really try to pick out one player or and things like that. It's kind of focusing on a group of guys.
Hey, what kind of sniff are you getting from the NFL scouts right now? I got to believe people are taking a look at you.
Well, man, I'm hoping so. It's every football player's dream to make it to the league. And it's just, it's something that you've worked, so many years for your life for, and it's the end goal for a lot of us. So it would be a lot of fun, but, because we're student athletes. You know, I'm getting my education as well. So if that doesn't work out, I always have my degree to fall back on.
Hey, Parker, you're one of the elder statesmen in the program, and I want to ask you, and I ask you this because I know it was public knowledge that there were a lot of maybe issues on the team last year, and Rocky does a good job of keeping those within house. The only thing that I would ask you is what's different this year than maybe was missing last year from this football team?
I think last year, and I want to say the year before that, the team just kind of lost the chip on our shoulder. A lot of the guys that got recruited before me that were on the 2012 team and the 2015 team that won those championships, they coming into a program that didn't win a lot, that were the underdogs in a lot of things, not necessarily having a target on their back. And so I think we were really missing that chip on our shoulder because when we started recruiting guys after winning, 2 championships in a row, they kind of thought it was going to be easy and things like that, and just kind of expected to win. So I think having the last two seasons has really put that chip back on our shoulder.
All right, last question, because I know you got to get to a meeting. Even though it's a bye week, you guys are still holding your meetings and doing all your due diligence. You got to talk to Coach Horton. He got to throw the ball to you a little bit more.
Nah, my thing is if we're winning, we're winning. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. When Coach Horton calls my number, I'll be sure to make the play for him. But if our attitude is to run the ball between the tackles and to spread it out with our receivers, and that's getting us to have a few wins on our calendar, then let's keep doing that.
Well, hey, we want to see you run the table. We want you to win the conference title, and we want to see you go to a dynamic bowl game. And you know what? We're going to follow your plight, and we're going to get you back on the show, and you're going to be our Aztec correspondent the remainder of the season.
Sounds good, Coach. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Good guy right there. Parker Houston, senior tight end. Look forward to having him on. He'll be our little Aztec correspondent. Well-versed young man and a good team guy. Love guys like that.